Good evening, everybody. This is why we are live. This is why the night shift is here. It is 10:07. We have breaking news. We're going to cover that in a second. Welcome to episode 11 of the NXT Night Shift. Let's talk. I am 1/3 of the Indie Wrestling Guide podcast and human resources for the Main Event Network. And tonight I'm live from the set of the first-run syndicated talk show, The Joan Rivers Show, which ran from September 5th, 1989 to December 26th, 1993, whose first guests were Kim Novak and Marvin Hamlish. I'm Jay Gold. With me, as always, is someone who can go 24 hours. The Watson to my Holmes, the Lisa Cuddy to my Dr. House, the Turk to my JD, and the Ross to my Rachel. It's the host of the On the Mark podcast. It's Mr. OTM. It's Kyle.
Kyle. Jay Gold, I don't know what to say. I am at a loss for words. Not just one title changed hands tonight, but multiple titles changed hands. Like mouthing off what Mike just said. Fellas, what the hell happened on this episode of NXT? I don't know, but we're going to talk about it here in a couple of minutes.
We're going to talk about it, but I want to take a moment to preen like an absolute peacock for the 24-hour Main Event Network stream. A wild ride of personalities and showcases of everything that is wrestling. We even got the founder and co-creator of the Indie Wrestling Guide, Charlie Butters, to bring his stupid ass onto the stream, and the main event debut of my kid and of Tim Vicious's kid. We had a family affair this weekend. Honestly, you could have not asked for a better weekend. No glitches, no problems. We added many new subscribers. So anyone who is checking in, who is looking at the night shift off of our stream, welcome, people. And you could not have joined on a better fucking night because it is insane. Dude. Let's say, go
ahead.
Clean the barbecues, people. Empty the half-drank cans of White Claws and high noons. Put all the leftovers in Tupperware and throw out the trash for tomorrow's pickup. Tune into the WWWB. That used to be the WB, Channel 11. Let's go live to the great state of Indiana, home of the Studebaker National Museum. We're leaving Tampa. We're heading towards Atlanta for the Great American Bash in a 2017 Infiniti whose battery has died. And when AAA came to the house, didn't charge me for it. And now my in-laws are actively wondering if I even changed the batteries or if I'm scamming them for money. Welcome to the Wrestling Road Trip. Welcome to the emergency start of this episode. Welcome to the NXT Night Shift. Let's fucking go, Kyle. Let's kick it off. Let's go.
A lot to digest here. First off, I do want to acknowledge the 24-hour stream that we were able to successfully accomplish on our very first try, I might add. I mean, if you were living under a rock, the Main Event Wrestling Network was really popping large, as my co-host Ian Garavaglia would say. And we were live for 24 hours straight. And then we had about over, I think, 12 different people on stream. Not only people just from the network, but people outside the network. What is insane. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in because our show is hosted here at the Main Event Wrestling Network YouTube channel. So a lot of people that might be checking us out live right now might have watched us later. You know what? Thank you for that. I appreciate you guys. It was a marathon. We made it work. And here we are again talking to you guys. But we have just so much to digest. Just not from tonight, Jay Gold, but Battleground as well.
Yeah, Battleground was wild. I enjoyed Battleground a lot. I didn't think it was as bonkers as I thought it was going to be. There were a lot of decisions that I completely knew were coming, but Battleground was a great way to set up tonight, and tonight is unhinged lunacy at this point. I will say, the stream people, for all of you who jumped on, I mean, holy moly. Like we had 3 hours, 2 hour blocks, 3 hour blocks, 3 hour blocks, an hour block. We just had every bit of talent that we could deal with brought in their own personalities. They brought in their own stuff. I mean, my brother, a few people used to text me. They said it was just nice knowing that you guys were on all night. Like they could jump in at any time and they could just say, what's up? People were interacting. You could just watch something. Oh my God. Oh, Mike is on Mike's streaming his video games. Oh shit. I want to jump in on the Junkies. They came in out of nowhere and they're drinking. Like Tina was on for I think 13
It's the
hours.
perfect resume. That's what we basically just gave you guys, is a little taste of what everybody has to offer at the Main Event Wrestling Network. So if you're loving what we're doing, make sure you're following us at @mainevent_net, because now we are on the road to 200 subscribers because you helped us get to 100 when the stream just started, and then we actually are already at 131 now, Jay Golds. That means we have grown 33 subscribers this past week, so that is awesome.
Holy shit, 33.
Yep.
Some places do this stuff, they get 4 or 5.
Yep.
To get 33 new people is outstanding. But before we get back to that, the emergency, the reason we are on the air right now is because we just saw one of the more shocking endings to a TV show, especially for NXT. The greatest women's wrestler in the business today just lost to Jacy Jayne, and Jacy Jayne is the new NXT Women's Champion.
So, Jay Gold, I know you are a pretty big fan of Jacy Jayne, or at least you've spoken her praises of her work in these factions over the years, but I don't think anybody in their right mind actually saw this coming tonight. Like, going into this match, it just felt like a one-off. Yes, they were building to it for a couple weeks, with the tension with Fallon Henley, but Stephanie Vaquer, here's the thing. I thought when she was being put on Monday Night Raw about a month ago that she was maybe headed to the main roster very soon, but I didn't think it was this soon. And that's kind of the vibe I got, Jay Gold, right when I saw the pinfall at 1, 2, 3. First, it was shock. It literally felt like when the Undertaker's streak ended, my jaw just hit the floor. It was crazy. But then I'm like, is this just for them to shotgun Stephanie to the main roster right away?
No, there's no rush for that. She'll get it back. I think this was more for this is more for this moment. I think this is more for showing off a little bit more of Jacy Jayne. But Stephanie, I think, people now, they were getting too predictable, and I think what they wanted to do was kind of shake it up. And there's nothing wrong with shaking it up to start, a night like this. You're going to get a lot of people talking. I don't even know what to say, because when you watch Stephanie Vaquer in the ring, you understand she is the best women's wrestler going today. There's nobody better.
No.
So I am not sure if you're going to give her a long run. Maybe they're just like, we just can't do it. There's just no way to give her a run like that without knowing that she's not going to lose.
I'm just surprised. I mean, I guess it wasn't clean because Fallon Henley did get involved, so they sort of protect her there. So I guess, I was going to originally say that, no, maybe Stephanie's buried here. No, she's not buried. They protected her in her loss, and I'm sure, I don't know if we're going to get a rematch at this point. Like, is there even a point? Stephanie's on the bigger and better things at this point. Do we really need to see her face off against Jacy Jayne for that title one more time?
Probably not. No. And I don't care if they do it again. They give it to Jacy, let her run. And the queen of the trios, got what was coming to her.
Dude, and the crowd was hot throughout the entire night, but for some reason in that main event, they even brought it even more. And I didn't even think the main event was anything special. Like, Jacy and Stephanie were fine, but the crowd just the entire night had the energy. And then
I had on here the crowd keep trying to get themselves over. It's such a bunch
they are doing that.
Fucking idiots. Yeah, they literally
the Ricky Stroke shit.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it so much, and I hate the fact that they stand there and put their hands at their sides, and you're just like, yeah, look at us, we're making it work.
Well, they orchestrate it and everything too.
The Trick NA chant, fucking idiots. But anyway,
what do you think about this comment though?
What?
What do you think about this comment? Kai thinks it's because Mariah May is coming. I don't think so either.
I don't see Mariah May coming. I don't.
Oh, I do.
I don't know. There's a lot more going on with Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa and all those. I don't know.
Yeah, we could talk about AEW another time, but with all that happened in NXT, we'll stick to NXT tonight. Don't worry.
I don't even believe what we saw tonight.
Who takes that title off Jacy Jayne now? Now I'm starting to think.
Anybody.
I was going to say, if this reign is 1 week, let's hypothetically say Jacy loses the title next week. Will you be mad?
No.
Okay, me
no.
neither.
Anybody can beat Jason. Anybody. That's the end of that.
What do you?
But
Oh God, this is probably insensitive, and I don't mean it in a sensitive way. But like, what do you think of somebody like an Indy Hartwell or a Cora Jade's thinking right now?
well,
Like that could have
Indy
been
Hartwell
them.
was the champion.
Yeah, that basically was Indy when she won at Stand and Deliver a
Yeah,
couple years ago.
yeah.
But that
Remember
could have
that?
been Cora Jade. You know,
Yeah.
like why not?
I will say tonight, this kind of took away from my theme of the night, which was going to be ETU is NXT. And with Mike Santana, the new ETU champion, showing up a bunch of times tonight on NXT, I think it took a little bit of my momentum away from what I was going to theme this night. But holy shit. And if you're just jumping in right now, we came in on a little early because we had to get out this energy that Jayne is the new NXT Women's Champion. You're hearing it right. It is Jayne.
Man, and Mike saying Fallon Henley, maybe. I think that's probably the route they go. And you do have other options like Jordan Grace, Lola Vice. Yeah. And they do still have a lot of women's talent down there. But man, I just never in a million years, and this is no disrespect to Jacy, never saw her as an NXT champion. But good for her. She grinded over these past, it seems like, 4 years I think she's been in NXT?
Yeah, but as it being a developmental, 4 years means nothing if but she is getting better, and she's at the point where sure she won a belt. Fine, I'm not like, it doesn't upset me. It's more just shocking. Yeah, it doesn't upset me one bit. But
I just know there's going to be people that are going to come out on the internet like, this is how you treat one of your biggest women's superstars, Stephanie Valkyrie.
Probably Charlie Butters.
Oh, don't get me started with that guy.
Well, all right. So let's get ourselves back on track.
Okay.
Let's bask in the glory of the 24-hour stream, and it is my understanding that we may have someone else that wants to bask in the glory of the 24-hour stream.
I figured this was going to happen, but since he couldn't join us, I mean, we literally were live.
I thought he was coming.
24 hours, and he wasn't there for one of them. But we got a call right now from Stan. Stan from Burlington. Stan, you're on the air.
Hi, it's me, Stan, from Burlington.
Hi.
I don't know if you remember me.
We do.
We missed you this week, Stan.
We
I
did.
thought you'd call in.
Oh. You guys are taking quite the victory lap on the 24-hour stream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just pictured a bunch of brooding late millennials sitting in their Brooklyn studios trying to decide whether to watch your stream or listen to another round of Gusters ganging up on the Sun album. Tonight, where do we go from?
I didn't know Stan had pipes like that.
The road to Ruby Falls.
Let's let it happen.
Reach the end.
Beautiful.
What happened to your stream? The end.
Yeah, right.
But that stream was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Tino did like 19 hours.
He sure did.
I keep picturing the locker room at the Main Event Network with the Great Brown Hope about to leave and saying, "Yo, we'll be right back, bro. You got this for a few, Tino?" And then no one came back.
Oh my God.
That did happen, Stan.
It did happen a few
Jay
times.
Gold, you did a bunch on the stream.
I sure did.
You posted on social media on the heels of the most ambitious 24 hours of wrestling streaming ever. Hey, you know what else was ambitious? The guys who created the COVID vaccine. And they were about as successful. Well, I guess our work here is done, all tightened up.
Anti-vaxxing, huh, Stan? Yeah.
Is Mr. Cincinnati there?
He's not here, Stan.
Not tonight.
That's too bad. I like him. I like Cincinnati.
I've heard.
Hey, Jiggold.
Yeah.
Do you know how to spell Cincinnati?
Not off the top of my head.
You know, it's only spelled with one T. Guess what else has low T? What? You. What doesn't belong and why?
Oh, here we go.
Doesn't belong and why? Okay.
What doesn't belong and why?
Yes.
All right. A, newly pardoned reality star Todd Crisley. B, Lyle Menendez. C, Jay Gold. What doesn't belong and why?
Something is pulling me to Todd Chrisley. I got to go with Todd today.
It's Jay Gold. I am neither one of those guys, Kyle. It is Jay Gold. Stan.
Well, big surprise. Wrong again.
Oh.
Because while all three of you have had questionable run-ins with the criminal justice system, Chrisley via shady tax dealings, Menendez after the murder of his parents, and Jay Gold after the unfortunate death of his first wife, only Lyle Menendez is not free to walk on our streets with impunity. Okay, gotta go. Bye.
Oh my God. What the fuck? You let him just do that and leave?
He left. It's not like I can hold him on here. Jesus.
Oh, man. From the top rope, Stan from Burlington. Holy hell.
Yeah, it does happen from time to time.
Whew, I apologize, but that got me.
Stan. Yeah. Nothing like feeling good about yourself and then Stan calls. So
you know what? You get a bunch of new champions, and that
at least
happens.
I wasn't a pervert this time around.
This is true.
Yeah.
It's a positive.
Anyway. All right, Kyle. Let's get back to business.
Yeah.
Let's start off hot, okay? Because we started off tonight with Ricky and all ego
Strokes.
And no, not going to do it. And
I'm not eating.
And I have one question: why was there all that stupid security around?
Thank you.
What the hell were they doing?
Dude, that was the most awkward start to a match I think I've ever seen. Like, why are they there?
It's a match, and then they start fighting, and you break them up. Like,
well, the breakup wasn't even intense. Ricky was over on the other side of the ring, and Ethan was trying to get past two security guards, and that's what I was going to bring up to you. I was like, didn't the whole security guard bit just seem forced and unnecessary?
Yes, it was very unnecessary, and the referee's like, now we're starting off, and it's like, why are they holding each other? And like, they started. Why did you stop them?
Right.
Like,
it killed the momentum. Like, I was excited for this match. I think me and you even talked about, like, it could have been on Battleground. That's how excited we were for it. And then they kind of killed the momentum. Sure, that chair spot on the outside was fine.
They killed it the whole time. Every time they started fighting somewhere else.
Security.
They split them up. I was like, what is this? This is not, like...
It felt like a Vince segment.
It was very poorly booked, but I am not going to get upset because my dude... all ego, Ethan Page is your new North American champion. And I have to say one thing, Kyle. Yeah. It really felt like a lot of these matches were just to set up Worlds Collide. Didn't it feel like that?
Yeah.
Like everything kind of set up the same thing.
It did feel like that. And it feels like Worlds Collide as a whole has got more buzz behind it than Money in the Bank does at this point.
Yeah,
I mean, they're bringing in a lot of bigger names from other companies that, you know, us that are familiar with the independent scene and other companies outside of WWE know, like Laredo Kid, who showed up, which I'm sure
Laredo Kid, but we'll talk about that. But there's some great stories about Laredo Kid in Cleveland.
Oh, really? Did he work AIW?
Yes, a million times. And there's some great stories about him getting lost in Cleveland because he didn't speak any English.
Oh, I got to hear about that.
He went out for drinks and they never found him again. And the next morning, somebody found him like on the side of the road. He was looking for a ride.
Oh, my
God.
God.
Laredo Kid is the best.
He actually, I mean, his English was great tonight on NXT.
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
He killed it. But to wrap up this match, I literally just had it written down as meh kind of match. Like, I could do without it. But the result, cool. Didn't piss me off. Like, Ricky's going to be okay. I'm sure Ricky's going to go after Obafemi now. That's probably why he dropped the title, because who else is going to beat Obafemi?
Yeah, that's true. And I'll tell you a little secret here, because you're a wiffle ball player, but not a golfer. But what they say in golf is, right, even if you suck, just move the ball forward. And that's what this did tonight. It moved the ball forward.
Sure.
Ethan Page deserves the title, because there's no one else who I would rather see heel it up with that title.
Especially for that match at Worlds Collide. You need a base like him. He is going to control everything in that match.
Yeah, and you have you're going to have four guys. We'll talk about that in a minute, but you're going to have four guys who are just going at it.
Crazy.
And have been – Laredo Kid and Ethan Page have been in the ring together at AIW, so they know each other very well.
That's cool.
And Ethan Page and Ray Phoenix and Ethan Page and Javon Evans. So you're in a very good place, but we'll get to that.
So what you're saying is you've probably been front row or right there for Ethan Page Laredo Kid match in person?
I've seen them, I think, in one of the gauntlets for the gold. I saw them. I didn't see them. They didn't actually wrestle one-on-one, but they have been, they have interacted in an AIW ring, I believe. So let's get to the next piece, which was the setup for the main event. Jacy Jayne talking to Jacy, Jayne, and Fatal Influence chatting it up, and you think that there is some strife between the two. And then we get a match. We get Mike Santana, the
Hell yeah.
ETU champion. He just beat Marcus Mathers, a WWE ID kid,
Yep.
at ETU last Sunday or 2 Sundays ago for the Key to the East Championship. So, and I will be seeing Mike Santana. He is wrestling as well at the next ETU Summer Madness show, which is Sunday, July 13th. So we get a match that honestly was a really good match. It really was. It was very entertaining. The fans got going. They did it. This is awesome. Santana can really go, and that kid Tavion Heights is unbelievable.
No doubt about it, man. And you said it. The crowd really embraced Santana, which was I was kind of skeptical about because not everybody knows who Mike Santana is, but it seemed like the smart fans at Full Sail, wherever they record. I know they don't record it at Full
But
Sail
let's be honest though. Santana was part of the original AEW and
Proud and,
LAX,
Proud and Powerful, or was that what they're called?
Yes,
yeah,
you're right. And he was also in TNA when it was Impact.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's not like he's not a seasoned,
he's a pioneer.
Seasoned, well-traveled, well-paid superstar, because he is a superstar.
He is, and you brought it up, and they got me thinking, dude, they should have been tag team champions in AEW. How did they never hold those tag team titles?
They didn't?
No,
I
never.
didn't know that.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I did not. You know what? I did not have that in my notes.
At least I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm like 90% sure.
I think you're probably right, but we can someone in the chat even check it out for us, because I'm lazy, but I honestly think
I'm looking it up now.
Yeah. But yeah, Santana, great match, great finish. Fans love it.
Way better than the opener.
Oh, it was more exciting, and he solidifies him as the number one contender for TNA to carry the flag.
Yep.
For TNA.
He's your guy. You got to ride that momentum now with Mike Santana. He's been exposed to WWE television. Now you run with him.
Now here's my question to you: what is next for Joe Hendry that he has lost the belt to Trick Williams?
I think we need to see a struggle from Joe. I think Joe needs to show a different side of himself, because the Joe Hendry that we've really seen for the past couple of years has just been the happy-go-lucky Joe Hendry. I got to see an edge to him, because sure, this stuff is fun, but it's only going to last for so long.
I have a bad feeling, that Joe Hendry is not a great in-ring competitor.
I would agree.
And compelling enough without the say his name stuff to get him into the next stratosphere. Yes, it was a great match with Randy Orton. The fans lost it. It was perfect.
Yeah.
But it was not like a 25-minute, I am rooting for Joe Hendry to do his thing. So I don't know where he goes from here, but I honestly don't know if Trick is even going to smell the TNA arena. I don't know if he's even going to get there with Mike next week.
They kind of made it seem like he was going to get there, right?
No, I'm saying, like, I don't know if he's even going to have a lengthy title run.
He's not going to lose to Santana next week.
Well, Santana's your guy, so he's the guy who's going to win. So you can't give me a match where Santana gets debuts and then just loses again next week.
Set it up for a pay-per-view.
Well, they're wrestling next week, so I don't know.
Yeah, bothering me. You have a no DQ next week on TNA, and then you set it up for their next big show. I don't know when that next show is for TNA, but I think that's probably what they would do.
It's going to be here in Long Island.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You going to go?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's that Sunday night, the 19th or something, or the 20th, something like that at the UBS. Let's see, in Long Island. Let's see.
Don't you think there's too much WWE big events going on?
Yeah, July 20th, Slammiversary. It's at the UBS Arena.
There's your match then. This is all setting up for that. Yeah. It'll be Santana versus Trick, in my opinion. Unless they want to throw Joe into that match, make it a triple threat.
That's really good. I'm going to that. I'm definitely going to go to that.
I'm telling you, I think you're going to get that.
And I'm going with my man, by the way. Shout out to the Struggles, who is the owner of ETU, and to my man Andrew, who is the other co-owner, who have seen and put a lot of time and faith into Mike Santana. And holy shit, man! Like what a great night! It must feel like a proud papa for a guy like Struggles, who knows all these dudes, and puts them on his shows. And he's got a ton of talent. Marcus and Big Sam is coming to Summer Madness, and there's a lot of guys who are on this show and on the entire week of WWE programming that you will see here in Jersey on Sunday, July 13th. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So
It's not a coincidence at this point. It's a pattern.
Yeah.
You see them in ETU, you're probably going to see them on TV.
You know what? And the funny thing is, I always said, like, you guys in the Midwest, there was so much talent that comes out of the Midwest. But now look at what's coming out of the East. You got Marcus Mathers, and you got Jack Cartwheel, and a cartwheel-based offense will never be good to me. But still, you got
it's fun.
You got a cartwheel-based offense. Anyway, let's talk about the fact that Inamura is back.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we saw him at Battleground.
Did anybody realize he was gone? It's the real question.
I actually did, believe it or not. They kind of got me with that story. Like,
no, they didn't.
No, they didn't. I'm not fully invested into it, but I have been paying attention to where I did notice he was gone for 2 weeks. I think it was that most.
It was weird. Yeah, but he was back. He came back real fast. Apparently, that flight was longer than the amount of time he was gone. So
true that.
So then we get a little vignette of Wes and of Wesley and those two dudes.
High Rise.
Is that what they're called?
They're called High Rise, brother. Come on.
Tyson and Tyreek.
That's right. Yeah, I believe so.
High Rise.
Yeah, that's their new faction name. Man, I don't know.
Okay.
It's the best way to describe it is it's okay. Like,
sure. Yeah.
The Wesley that we got 2 years ago is not the Wesley we're getting anymore, and that's
I wonder what happened there. I don't know what happened.
He lost all of his buddies.
He doesn't need any buddies. He was Wesley without one.
That is true. When he was North American champion, it was just him.
He was one of the best North American champions they had. He had a great run.
He was one of the poster guys of NXT for a couple years there too, and now it's just like he feels like a background character that's managing a tag team now.
Yeah, it's weird.
He's falling into Scripps territory, which is not good.
It is weird, right? Yes, definitely, it's weird. And then from there we get the goofs from Chase U, which I love.
I love the goofs
from
Chase U.
And now they're going to get murdered by Dark State next week.
Hell yeah! And Andre Chase got dragged into it. I'll tell you what, Andre Chase. One of the more underrated guys, I think, in NXT.
I think he's one of the more underrated wrestlers in all of the indies, in all of wrestling for many years. Him and his brother, too, when they were the Harlem and the Bravado.
Who's his brother?
The other Bravado. He's older. I don't think he wrestles anymore.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
But there were two. They were. Hold on. It was Harlem Bravado, and hold on. It was him and the Bravado brothers. So it was Harlem and Lancelot Bravado.
Lancelot. Okay.
Yeah, and they're real. I think they're real brothers, and they have been doing it since. Oh my God, these guys! They were in Ring of Honor. They learned under Delirious from like 2008.
I didn't know that they had been around for that long.
Yeah, they're real brothers. It's my understanding, and Chase Barrow and Houston Barrow. That's their real names. And and Harlem Bravado is Chase U, and he's been around a really long time. And if I'm not mistaken, they were also in Chikara. They've been around. He was everywhere, and he's very underrated.
Yeah, he is. I mean, the one thing that put him on the map for me, and this is really going to go back in time here, Jay Gold. I don't even know if you're going to remember it. To the Index wedding with Indy Hartwell and Dexter Loomis. Before Andre Chase was even presented as a character in NXT, he stands up in the middle of the wedding and goes, "Did somebody say Andre Chase?" And then everybody's just like, no, and it's sit the fuck down. And then that was it. That's all he did. I'm like, I like that guy. And that was it.
He's great. He's got what they need, and I like him very much, and so they're going to get smushed. And by the way,
yes,
one of their key headlining matches when Evolve was still cool was the Bravados versus Monster Mafia, and that was Ethan Page and Josh Alexander.
Wow, what a throwback!
Yeah, in case anybody doesn't remember or wants to look that up, look up some old Evolve and those guys. And that was, you want to see the Bravados, and you want to see Andre Chase with a big full head of hair.
How long? Do you know how long that Evolve ran for?
Evolve, I don't know. It was around for a long time that I watched. I went to a few Evolve matches in like 2015,
I remember when Theory worked Evolve.
2016. Oh yeah, that was at the end.
Yeah, that's the only. But like
Evolve the Darby Allin Ethan Page feud where Darby got his arm broken with the shovel. Like that was a big time, and there was a bunch of other stuff that kind of went into that. So
Darby used to run the indies out here in Northwest Indiana. That's what's crazy. Yeah. Tuck, my co-host, has seen him in Crown Point.
Really?
Like 6 years ago, he wrestled in Crown Point, where I'm from, which is crazy because this town, I think, has like 60,000 people. And then Darby Allin is now on TV, just climbed Mount Everest. I mean, megastar.
Yeah, I mean, he was big time at Evolve, and even I remember
That
seeing.
might have been when he saw him. I'm gonna look it up.
I met Joey Styles at an Evolve show in like 2016 with Drew McIntyre and Gargano and Zack Sabre Jr. and Flip Gordon. Flip Gordon, right? Yeah, Flip Gordon.
Yeah, Flip Gordon.
And there was a ton of guys at this show, and Joey Styles was there, and Ricochet. And I mean, it was nuts. So you got to think Evolve has gone back many, many years. Dom Guarini was a muscle guy for Stokely's faction back in the day with Walter. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, it was a Black Label Pro show in 2020. He worked Warhorse out here in Crown Point. Yeah.
You know, and I'll say this, and we say it in groups and on our show all the time. Warhorse, his whole career was upended by that Cody Rhodes match when he got no fanfare. It was just Arn Anderson, and there was the COVID match destroyed his career.
Because he changed his gimmick right after that.
Well, because he got exposed. So what happened was it was great on Twitter. It was great with like Danhausen and on the Indies, and then he got out into the ring, and woof, that match was brutal. Yeah, and there was no gimmick, and Cody just did whatever. So, it didn't work like Eddie Kingston worked. So,
that is crazy to think about. I totally forgot about that.
That was the end of Warhorse's career as Warhorse.
Yeah, Warhorse could have had a Eddie Kingston moment.
Yep.
And that's a guy, I've worked with Warhorse multiple times. I've shared back rooms with him. He's a good dude to me.
Yeah,
I've never had an issue with him, but it's just unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah, there is zero issue with Warhorse.
He's a good wrestler. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great gimmick. I don't know how great he is in the ring, and it got exposed, and it literally ended the Warhorse gimmick as we know it. So
ain't that the truth?
Yeah. So let's get to the next steps here, because we had Tony and Luca at a table where Tony was trying to figure out, boy, oh boy, does Tony really need to figure out everything? It's so much talking. It really is a poorly written episode of The Sopranos at this point.
And he can't even trust the one guy he should be able to trust. Like, what are we doing here? Nobody wants to see this story be dragged out. Seriously, there are 55 people watching right now. I'm looking at you. Tell me that you're enjoying this story. You're lying if you say you are.
Yeah. You're a fucking liar.
You're a fucking liar. All 55 of you.
Yeah, so then we get to Trick coming out, and I love what Trick says. And he's like, basically I have written here, the fans are idiots. Like, why are they cheering for him? He's like, stop cheering for me.
You can't see it, J Gold, but I said fickle NXT fans cheering him like they weren't just booing him the last month.
It makes zero sense.
He won a title. He stole TNA's title. Let's cheer him now. Trick called him out on his bullshit, and you got roasted.
You want to go whoop that Trick? Do it in the comfort of your own home. Leave that shit out of here. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like Hollywood Trick is actually, I think it's working. It's at least something.
I love that. Let's talk about it, like sprinkled into what he says. I think it's interesting. But I have the fans are idiots. Trick is a heel, and let him be a heel. Why are you cheering for him? Shut up! Like,
that's the WWE crowd now.
Joe bullshit.
Yeah, so, the WWE crowd just will cheer for whoever's champion or whoever's getting over who just turned heel because it's the cool thing to do.
It's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous.
He should be booed. He should have been getting booed out of that building. I don't care if he's an NXT superstar. People love Joe Hendry.
It's Joe Hendry was the average Joe chance made no sense. His
promo with Santana was good though. The back and forth.
Yes, and I have that. I'm actually going through that right now. I'm looking at the notes here, and I have Santana comes out and gives us a really good promo with him.
He kind of cooked him.
He did.
Santana.
He did when he talks about his high heels and his tight pants. I was fucking howling. Yeah.
Dude, I don't think we're still like talking about this enough. The fact that Trick Williams is TNA champion. Like, this is history that was made at NXT Battleground, and I barely see anybody online talking about it. And a lot of people, if anything, are shitting on it. It's like, oh, this is just going to devalue the TNA championship. No, it's not. It's going to do the complete opposite. It's going to put more eyeballs on your championship.
I was going to say, how much value is on the TNA championship
so much
to begin with?
now,
but before this, how much value?
Yeah.
What were you flipping through Pro Wrestling Illustrated looking for the section on total nonstop action? No,
No.
you weren't.
Mm-mm.
And
But now it means something, I think.
I think when they changed names to TNA, I think people expected to turn on TNA, and you were going to see like the six-sided ring, and
Sure.
you were going to see Mike Tenay type of stuff, and the ridiculousness that was the main event Mafia, and all the good stuff and the goodness that came with TNA, right?
Yeah.
And there is zero of that. As long as you have Tessa Blanchard and Masha Slamovich and a few of these others who are way too serious to bring back that kind of vibe to TNA, it's going to be its own company. So give the TNA WWE relationship is the way that TNA wants to go forward. There are no more Wildcat Chris Harris and James Storm matches. There's no more Elix Skipper jumping off the top of the cage. It's gone. It's gone. There's no more watching only for. I watched only for Petey Williams matches because I wanted to see the Destroyers.
It doesn't have the uniqueness anymore.
Well, now you have to hit a Canadian Destroyer 5 times before the 5th one ends the match. When Petey Williams did it, you just waited. I waited and watched. I was in a bar once in upstate New York and I made them put on Fox Sports Net so I could watch TNA.
Oh my God.
Petey Williams,
you might be the only person ever.
I've done it in a million bars. I made them put on wrestling every time I'm in them. And I made them leave it on. It was 3:00 in the afternoon.
I've done it too.
Yeah, so I could see Petey Williams do the stupid Canadian Destroyer, and it was amazing. The days of Chris Sabin and the Cradle Shock and the Styles Clash, they had the best finishers in all the land. TNA.
I bet.
It's gone. Even the Abyss, the Black Hole Slam, his Black Hole Slam was
he's
better
WWE
than anybody's.
creative. Yeah.
But his Black Hole Slam was better. Nobody did it like him.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Those days, unfortunately, are gone. And so when you say that it devalues the title, you're wrong. It brings them some clout and some eyes, and it's still on Access Television where I can't watch it. So
and now TNA fans are gonna want to support their TNA guy, and you're gonna create a big baby face out of this.
That's right, and you're gonna get somebody, and Mike Santana is the perfect baby face for TNA. So we go from there to where Stephanie Vaquer is talking to Ava, and she's gonna get a match with those two AAA ladies, who I don't know.
So is that like her swan song then for NXT? You think it's just this Worlds Collide match, and then they're like, all right, move her up to the main roster?
I don't know, and I'm trying to figure out where that's supposed to go, but I think she'll probably have to get that title back eventually, in the next few weeks.
You think she'll get the NXT title back?
Yeah, I don't. I just can't understand what is going to be the point of a long run for Jacy Jayne.
I don't think it's going to be a long run for Jacy. I just don't see Stephanie getting it back. I just think she's ready. They're like, all right, enough's enough. Let's pull the trigger. We did it with Julia. We did it with Roxanne. Let's do it with Stephanie. But I think that it's going to be a problem because then now you need a lot of people to step up in their absence.
Yeah, I think there's a vacuum of a vacuum of talent because you move Julia up. If Stephanie leaves, then I really think
Jordan's number one, probably.
Right. I really think it's going to be, and where I think they should go is Zarya and Jordan Grace should be the horses you ride until you get them. One of them.
Sol and Kalani. Sol and Kalani's match at Battleground.
Fantastic.
Those two have chemistry. I forgot what other pay-per-view they had a match with. But
I saw somebody that's pretty influential on wrestling, a wrestling commentator who said that Soul Snatcher is a terrible move.
Is it what I quote tweeted?
No.
I thought it was the idiot that I quote tweeted, not having fun with Soul's amazing move that she did. She's a gymnast.
No, somebody wrote this move is absolute dog shit, and the match was great despite the finisher. And I was like, the finish is awesome.
That's the best part. Yeah.
She just did a forward flip into a cutter from the top rope.
Yeah. Like she can literally hit that in so many different positions too. Yeah. That's what makes it awesome because it's basically just a cutter / RKO.
It is a front flipping cutter. I love stuff like the first time I ever saw a Spanish fly. You know the first person who I saw do that?
No.
You'll never even guess. It
Benoit.
was Paul fucking Burchill. He
don't
did
even
it
know who that is.
England. You don't remember Paul Burchill the Pirate with Katie Lee?
Dude,
you gotta look it up.
Started in 2011. How many times am I gonna tell you?
You gotta look it up. I'm telling you, you gotta look it up.
You have to send me homework.
Your homework is going to be looking up Paul Burchill doing the Canadian his version of Spanish Fly. I said, "Holy shit, this dude does a flipping rock bottom." That's what I called it when I first saw it, and I searched out every single Paul Burchill match to see if this guy was for real and doing it. And then when he debuted in WWE, he did it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" It was standing. He did it standing, not like off the ropes, and it's ridiculous. And so
I have to look at it.
Yes, and so Sol Ruka's move is amazing. So I don't want to hear people.
She's amazing.
Yeah, and she's got the face for it and the look, and everybody loves her. And she's looks like the friendliest kid ever. And God bless her. So we got that going. And now let's move on to the match that I totally forgot was even a feud. Miss Parker and Tatum Paxley.
Yeah, over toys.
Fine match. Lasted 2 minutes. Gets it through to the next match.
Jada's getting better.
Yeah, and you have Thea Parker attacking. Well, I thought Jada was at her peak.
You mean
now I'm watching. I think maybe Stephanie is the one carrying all these women to these amazing matches.
Yeah, she basically is giving the rub to them, and then they're learning how to wrestle from Stephanie and taking it to other people now.
Yeah.
That's basically what we saw here with Tatum Paxley.
Oh, thanks, P-Man.
Love the energy tonight.
Yes, we got
it. We have so here's the thing, man. I didn't have a lot of energy for the last couple days because, as we stated earlier, we did a 24-hour stream this weekend. But once this show happened and we got so many moments happening, and I even took notes, which is saying a lot, the energy levels were up. Yeah. And they still are high right now. And we are almost at 10 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock your time. Which, by the way, I don't know about you. I'm ready for another 24-hour stream.
I am too. I would actually do it. I have.
I got the itch, brother. I got the itch.
Yeah, I have more ideas.
Well, you know what it felt like for me, at least on my side of things, is there was only like a 6 to 8 hour period where I wasn't on the computer, but for every other second other than that, I was behind here and I felt like a producer, and I never thought I would enjoy that kind of role, but that is something that I think I could do. And it's just like simple stuff, moving things around, keeping things going. And I enjoyed doing that. And that was probably my favorite personal part of the stream, which is a nerdy thing. But
I agree with you. I was running down here and looking because I had the backstage stuff. And every so often, even in the nighttime, I ran down and was like, this is cool. Like, I just wanted to see who was doing what.
So cool, isn't it?
Yeah. So
go watch it back. It's on this channel, guys. We have part 1 and part 2 available.
Everybody, because I lead off part 2, by the way, and the funniest thing was I thought
we both lead off. Look at us.
Yeah, but I thought you got a kick out of the OT. I pushed the wrong button in the.
Oh yeah, you played our intro for a minute and a half.
Right, I was like, "What the hell is this?" Like I was like panicked. I'm like, "What am I doing?"
Because it automatically plays when we hit the intro because you're under my account.
Yeah. So all right, so then this brings us into the LFG debut.
Jasper Troy
of gigantic Jasper Troy, who. I thought, and Dante Chen is back, and that is Pod Van Ed's favorite wrestler. And Dante Chen came back, and he got whooped.
He did.
I thought at first, but they were the same height. But then I looked at Jasper Troy. His body is like double the size.
Oh, he's a big dude.
He's monstrous.
Yeah, he is a monster. Pounds, and to the people that didn't watch LFG, there's a reason he won the season. He was clearly the most talented guy with I think the most experience too. But like. The entrance, the presentation was there, and hell, he's even going to rub shoulders with Obafemi, it looks like, in the next couple weeks. He ain't going to win, but that's huge. That's like, you know what that reminds me of? When Carmelo Hayes won that breakout tournament and faced Adam Cole. Yeah. It's kind of like Jasper Troy facing Obafemi. It's like the passing of the torch. It's the next era. Jasper Troy could be the next Obafemi. I'm not saying he's going to be, but that's how they're setting this up for Jasper Troy.
And I liked Obafemi. He was up top, and he's like, if I wanted to, I could have come down there and just beat the crap out of you.
He probably could have.
Yeah, and that's the best. To see a champion who's like, I'm not ducking anybody, and anybody that I see, I'm just going to beat the crap out of you.
Is he the most believable champion in WWE right now?
Yes. There might not be. He's right up there.
I was going to say Stephanie, but...
Right?
She's not champion anymore. So that's still fucking crazy.
It's nuts. We'll go one more time as we get to the end, but... This takes us back to the No Quarter Catch crew, and Charlie Dempsey really does. Man, oh man, is he his dad? Like he is.
His character is spot on now.
His eyes, the big eyes when he like something happens he doesn't like Steven Regal, William Regal. They're gonna have a match.
Are there.
Him and Miles Bourne to like let Miles Bourne out of his No Quarter Catch crew contract.
Good. Let Miles Bourne go by himself. No. Wait, you say it again. So
No quarter catch crew contract.
No quarter
Say it.
catch crew contract. No
That's
quarter
right.
catch crew contract. No quarter catch crew contract. No quarter catch crew contract. Ah!
Yeah, you're losing it. See?
Oh, yeah. It's tough.
Well, they're gonna have a match next week, and it's a rounds match.
This is for
Yeah.
you, the Pacers one.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm trying to avoid. I actually
Pacers in 5. What did I tell you on this podcast?
listen. It's not over. It's not over, but it's pretty much over. And
Pacers
Thursday
in
night,
5.
if they're coming to New York, I am doing the JP Morgan Corporate Challenge run with my company on Thursday. So I'll be in Central Park while the game's going on.
You can represent us as the head of HR of Main Event as well.
I could wear this. I'll wear this over my shirt. I'll do it when I go.
We're going to have to get you a head of HR jacket now.
Yeah, I have HR stuff. Trust me.
You've already handled one case.
Right. My house is filled with HR. That's all I got is logos and HR stuff.
Sounds very exciting.
Oh,
I'm sure Stan can find a joke out of that.
I'm sure he can. My wife jokes about it too. You know, everyone that I know jokes about HR with me. Anyway, so let's go back to the ring where you have the newly crowned Ethan Page, and Javon Evans comes out and talks about how they're going to have a match at Worlds Collide, and then he just starts naming off luchadors, and you get the Laredo Kid in the crowd. Laredo Kid's tiny, by the way, in case when you see him, he's tiny. Tell. And then Ray Phoenix comes out. And now they're all speaking, broken English and yelling at Ethan Page. That's all. That's all I heard. I'm like, this is fantastic. So I can't wait for that pay-per-view, and it's on YouTube for free at 3:00 in the afternoon.
What?
Yes.
Oh, I'm guarantee you we're gonna probably set up some mixers either for Worlds Collide or Money in the Bank. So stay tuned for that.
For me, it may not be in because the P-Man who's on our stream, his daughter's birthday is this weekend, and I will be in New York City on Saturday. So I'm gonna have to watch it on replay when I come in. So you never know what those are going on. But all right, so we get those other two knuckleheads with Ava. What are the Robbie E and the other one?
Stevie Turner. Stevie Turner. I got it.
Turner, yes.
The Evolved GM.
Yeah, so they're talking about whatever, and then we get to the main event hype, and then Saul Ruka and Zarya talking to Tatum Paxley about nothing, or just like consoling her or whatever.
Being baby faces, Jay Gold.
Yeah, doing babyface stuff, even though you're looking at the new NXT Women's Champion when Zarya walks around. I don't care.
Man. She
is going to hold the title, a major title in WWE for many, many years. That's all I know.
She's going to take the title first off of Soul, though. You know that's coming.
Yep, that's coming. That is absolutely coming. So now that we're at the end, since we started from the end, let's talk about the end again real quick and just how ridiculous this ending was. And I still can't believe it. And that actually is being talked about more than most stuff on the interwebs is Jacy Jayne winning that title, which I cannot believe. I can't believe it.
Yeah, there's really not much. I mean, obviously we went live immediately after NXT ended, so it's not like we could have prepared for this in any way, but WWE pretty much summarized it perfectly to the finish of that match. They tweeted, shocked, stunned, speechless, Jacy Jayne is the new champion. And that's really all you can say after that, because there is literally no one there that can say, oh, yeah, Jacy Jayne was going to win that match. I knew that. I didn't know that.
I cannot understand. I'm going through the Twitter world right now.
So am I. And this is a good counterpoint. This is a good counterpoint from a fan. They said this is the unpredictability that the main roster needs. They do need that on the main roster because things are pretty surface level right now.
Yeah, I think I just don't know. I just don't know where they go from here. I don't know.
If this is leading to Fallon Henley becoming NXT Women's Champion, I'm going to be a happy man. That's all I'll say to that. It's got to be, right? Because why would they be teasing the JC and Fallon thing if that wasn't the plan?
I do not want Fallon Henley being the women's champion. No offense. She was fine as the...
It's going to happen.
I don't know.
Who else? Who else would take it off of JC?
That's a really good question. And
Zarya is occupied, unless it's Kalani Jordan or something like that.
I don't know. I am now curious. I don't know where this goes, and that's probably the best part about being a live reaction show after NXT. Vic Joseph, shout out, by the way, to Vic Joseph, the voice of NXT. we'd love to have you on, brother. Let's talk about it.
Open invite, Vic. We are live right after NXT, but we can even move our schedule around for you if you need to. But you're a Midwest guy, you're an AIW guy, we're AIW guys, so
yeah,
I think we can make this happen.
We can make it happen. We have mutual friends, and
man.
Yeah, let's figure it out and talk more about this because
Fun night,
I honestly cannot believe it. And as
Good
we
stuff.
hit the 11 o'clock hour, again, a nice tidy 45 to an hour. We do what we do.
Good show tonight.
Yeah. I hope
I'm not talking about ours, but like NXT.
Yeah.
But
No,
both.
NXT. Oh, our show's always awesome.
Yeah.
In case you all want to know where we stand, our show is awesome.
The interaction was slacking, so for the 60-something people out there, bring the energy in the comment section.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about because we want to interact with you guys. And you can even call in. You could be like Stan from Burlington or Tino. The only two people to ever call into this show are Tino
and Zach Blackburn.
I forgot because I wasn't on. My apologies to Zach, but Zach's usually here every single episode.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll talk to Zach very soon.
You will, and I think call in, join us. If I can shamelessly plug, we reviewed because of Mike Santana this week. We reviewed the ETU show, whatever it takes from last week. So listen to the review episode on Thursday. It's pretty comical because we were all beat to shit from Memorial Day, so like we were exhausted on that episode. We tightened it up to about 45 minutes. So check us out, and we are there every Thursday. And you can find me on there too at jgold12 on the X and on the Instagram. So that's how we're going to leave this one tonight as a. I mean, I'm just stupefied.
Yeah, there's loss of words, so we're just going to leave it at that. We're going to leave it at what we left it at because I'm sure you guys have a lot of thoughts. So if you're watching this on the replay, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about the new champions. Give us a follow. You see it on the screen right now at NXT Night Shift on X, and then you can follow our other podcast at IW Guide 1 and at Pod on the Mark. And of course, guys, if you're watching this show, you are supporting the Main Event Wrestling Network. But go ahead and check out all the other great content creators we have to offer, including that 24-hour stream that is now available at mainevent_net. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button too. I believe we still, during this episode, let me check. I want to make sure we are at 131 and we didn't gain a subscriber here. We are 131. Okay, so somebody could be number 132. Be a friend and tell a friend about what we are doing here at the Main Event.
And think it through, because you know what? We did something that nobody else on the Twitter machine has done before. We managed a 24-hour wrestling stream combining 5 different shows and every personality mixed together like the goddamn streaming Avengers. And we did it right, and we would like everyone to check it out. It is a really, really interesting piece of streaming. It's
a passion project. Yeah. That's basically what it was. All of us came together, gave our own little twist on it, showed you what we do with our podcasts, and maybe you'll want to check out everybody else's shows too, because I think we got a great group of individuals over here, and it's not always about, oh, this company's better than this company here. No, we just want to enjoy wrestling, all pro wrestling.
All you need to know is AEW sucks. And that's
we're an NXT podcast. We wear NXT on our jacket. Fuck AEW.
And we don't watch anything else, and we run it down.
Even though I'll be, recapping AEW on Thursday on my podcast. So tune in, have fun on the mark if you're interested. But
thanks for joining us this week. This shift is definitely over tonight.
Yeah, it's time to punch out Jay Gold. So thanks everybody once again for checking us out, and we'll see you next week for episode 12.
See ya.